Hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Terry?
I'm good. I think we're going through the same things with school just starting. It's like,
chaos over here.
which way am I going? Which way am I going? What day is it?
What's
My
today?
God.
And then the holiday throws everything off when everything shut down on Monday.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was trying to figure out, and I'm like, well, why is it? Oh, Monday. That's why.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Hello, hello. Hi, Lynn. Hi,
Hi,
Elizabeth.
everybody.
Hi,
How are
Karen.
y'all?
Long time no see. I just seen a few of you.
I know. Yes. We probably just saw a couple of them only a few minutes ago,
Yep,
huh?
just a few minutes ago. Good morning, Jesse, again.
Yeah, we're working around Terry's schedule today, you guys. I said, how about 5? And she said, well, it might be a little bit late. I said, okay, how about 5:30? She said, perfect.
Yep.
She's doing double duty. She just got off of a live herself. And here she is back again to help me out and make sure we keep track of all the comments and all that good stuff. But if you don't know me, I'm Teresa Renee Art. I'm the owner of Decoupage Queen. I don't come on here very much anymore. When we started this thing years and years ago, I was on here all the time.
Yeah.
But we've got so many great people out in the world who do creative hour for us on Saturday. Terry's been doing a great job with that. So, I just said, hey, let's do it because we have a new product that just came out in the fall.
Yep.
I actually saw, I don't know if you saw it too, Terry, but I did see another creator use this journal kit recently this week.
Did. Yes, I did.
Yes. So I was super excited to see that because it's literally the second time I've seen it used. The first time was the first project that I did.
Well, and then I did the scan and cut with this a couple of Sundays ago, 2 Sundays ago. So
awesome.
we put it on the scan and cut, showed them how easy it was to
Did it work? Did it work well? I didn't catch that one.
Yes.
Okay.
We put the few things on there and just went and did its thing. So
awesome.
Yep.
That's great. Well, it's been a big seller, and I just don't want people to be scared to use it.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah. So that's why I figured I'd come on here and I'd do a demo all at once. So I usually do demos every Saturday. I do demos for our retailers. I have not done this journal kit yet for the retailers because I thought, let's kill 2 birds with one stone, and I'll show everybody at the same time. And so hopefully we have some retailers on here watching too, because I have gotten a lot of questions from them as well. So hopefully we've got some of our retailers on watching as well. But I know a lot of them did purchase it, so it is out there. It's available. I'm going to run, Terry, I forgot to grab my journal that I did. Let me run and get that, and you can...
Okay. I'll entertain. They're used to me. So yeah, actually, let me grab the retailer link for you guys. So just in case you don't have a favorite retailer or looking for maybe a brick and mortar near you, this one, if you click on this link, when we're done here, all you need to do is put in your zip code, and then it'll give you your nearest shop. And so, and again, it could be online or brick and mortar for you to actually go in and check them out. So awesome. That's all you need to do there. Troy's giving me strobe lights in the background. So
fancy.
So if you want to, I'll give you the screen so you can show that beautiful book.
Okay, sure. And we're actually going to do a complete journal today from start to mostly finish, at least until we get to a stopping point, because we will have a little bit of drying time that we have to work through. Oh, for some reason, my other camera is not wanting to come up, Terry. Let's see.
You know what? Mine does that to me, and I actually have to leave studio and come back.
I had to turn it off and turn it back on.
Yeah, see, sometimes that doesn't even work for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to first show you the kit, And then that will, once I start flipping through the journal, you'll be able to see where I use some of these things in my journal. So I'm going to open up this kit. It comes, there's 11 pages, including the cover. So that's the 11th page, because you can totally cut up and use that cover too, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Do not think that you cannot, because that's perfect for
little tiny butterfly.
All kinds of elements on there.
Yeah, you can totally cut this up and use it too. In fact, I thought it might be fun to kind of use this, just like, since this is my paper, like to use this as a signature cover.
Yep.
Just like that. So what you get in here, you get 4 double-sided pages. And these are double-sided. They do coordinate with our rice papers from the fall collection. And these are meant to be signature covers or just extra pages in your book. And so the line is there where you can fold it in half, and you get 4 of these, because most of the books that I make, I usually do about 4 signatures in them. And if you don't know what a signature is, trust me, you will by the time we're done. If don't be afraid of the lingo. So I'm just going to fold these here. I'm going to go ahead and do all 4 of them, but these 4 are double-sided, and they're meant to hold all the other little pages that you want to put in your book, or they can just act as their own little page. But they're beautiful. They're a little more on the simple side, because the point of this is for you to expand it to get you started, and then to be able to add all your own stuff. Right. So you'll see when I go through my example how that looks.
And so that was one thing that I did too on Sunday's video. I showed them a couple of the albums that I've made, because you can use every single bit of this journaling kit and have your own ephemera, have more ephemera. And like Betty said, I save all the bits and pieces just in case. Exactly. Don't throw anything away. Use it for decor.
Yeah, I save it all. I have buckets of stuff now. Thanks to Nancy, who got me started on this. And even from the journal I made, I didn't use all the elements that I cut out. I cut them out, and then I tucked them into a little pocket. Like, it's like a work in progress. It's something I can continue to work on. The nice thing about these two is I find that books and paper is very portable, and it's less messy than some of the mixed media stuff that I do. So when I go on vacation, I'll be taking this stuff with me so that I can work on pages.
Oh, Tracy Honecker says, glad you're doing this. I bought the pack, but I've never made an album.
Perfect. Well, I'm glad you're here, Tracy. So this is like, if Decoupage Queen were to have washi tape, this is probably what it would look like.
Yep.
But these are like belly bands or strips of tape that you can cut up and tape down.
Belly bands, washi tape, bookmarks.
Yep, just all kinds of things. And so this is not double-sided, but the rest of these are not double-sided, but the first 4 are. Because we heard you on the scrapbook set. We didn't want you to have to make choices on what to cut, what to cut and what not to cut. So we kept these pretty simple. And then so here you have a full sheet of ephemera, which is just, if you don't know what ephemera is, you guys, ephemera is like vintage old postcards or receipts or book pages or just random things that have some foxing or aging to them, that you can tuck in and add little bits of interest. So this is all actual pieces from my collection that I have included in here for you. And then this page is what we call fussy cutting elements. If you're not following Terry, follow Terry and then go back and watch her live where she used her brother is it the Brother
Yes.
Scan and Cut?
Yes, Brother Scan and Cut.
You can do it the old-fashioned way. When I did my journal, I did it the old-fashioned way, and I cut. I got cramps in my hands from cutting. And then I thought, okay, for the next one that I do, I'm going to do a lot less curvy things. We're going to do basic shapes next time. We have a couple of little envelopes.
Yep.
So I'll show you what those are for.
We did that one on Sunday too. So we cut that out on the Scan and Cut. Took less than 2 seconds.
And then how did it do right here? Did it do okay in this?
Perfect. It did it perfect.
Perfect.
Put it on the scoreboard, scored those marks because a couple of people were afraid. They thought that the Scan and Cut were going to cut all of those black lines. And I said, okay. Nope, it sure did not. It did it perfectly.
Okay. All right. Very good. And that's the thing. I didn't have a chance really to test this out before we rolled it out. So I'm glad that that it's working good. How about this one? Did it do good on the tags?
It did. Okay, so the bottom right, see where your thumb is, how there's light right there, that envelope or whatever it is, the postcard there underneath the sunflower on the bottom right.
Yeah.
No, the tag. See how it's light? So the brother doesn't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have the black line around it.
Exactly. But I showed them all you need to do is take a pencil and just make that line, and then there it goes.
Okay, so it was this one right here?
Yep, that one, and then the top left did it too.
Here.
But we put the pencil mark on it, and it went fine, and then all you do is just erase, and it's all good to go.
Awesome. All right, yeah, so I cut all these by hand, and I found too, okay, the next set that I do, it's going to be a little more basic because we're not all going to go buy this Brother machine, right?
Exactly. But see, you have a newfound respect now, right?
I do. Yes. Dana says she ordered a Scan and Cut.
Awesome.
Okay. And then the last sheet we have is the journal cards. Which, by the way, I will tell you, these journal cards actually line up exactly with the corresponding, because this page is also available in rice paper and vellum. And the journal cards line up exactly with the vellum.
Look at that.
Ooh.
So pretty.
Yeah. So I just thought that was a neat little hack there. So we're going to go ahead and play with this. First, I'm going to show you my journal that I made. And you can see, so that's everything that's included. Okay. And then our rice papers are designed. So it's all designed to coordinate together. So the front of this book is decoupage with rice paper.
Yes.
Rochelle. Yep. From our fall collection.
Mm-hmm.
And then the inside is field of sunflowers. See, this one I gave up on, Terry. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Can I tell you, not to rub it in, but can I tell you that I put that on the Scan and Cut, and the only thing I need to do was fix that top right leaf, and it cut that out. It cut it out.
Because it's light, right?
Yeah, but it cut it out.
All right. Well, if I do get a Scan and Cut, I'm gonna have to trade my Cricut in.
Yeah, either that or she's gonna start mailing me all of her pieces to
yes.
cut, and then
yes, cut these for me, please. So there you go. I had leftovers from this one, but you can see, so this is field of sunflowers. I decoupaged on the inside. And then and then I've got some, so this is my first signature, you guys. So I'm going to show you what I did in here. I basically took a double-sided tape and I cut a little pocket out of the vellum paper. So I cut this in half and then I lined it up and then I left a little pocket so I could stick some of my little ephemera in.
Perfect.
How cute, right?
Mm-hmm.
This I didn't do anything to other than I literally decoupage a sheet of rice paper onto it.
Beautiful.
And then I glued some ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
This one I did a little bit more. So I got a little vellum pocket and then another one of these little vellum journal things. And so, you know, I really did not understand, to be honest, junk journaling at all.
Right.
Until I
doing
did it myself. And then I was like, oh, well, I can really get into this.
Rima is asking, how do you glue vellum?
You use tacky glue. You would just do a very thin strip of tacky glue, but I use double-sided tape.
Yeah.
The little roller.
Uh-oh, here's Chris Hunter. Chris Hunter's here.
Hello, Chris Hunter. How are you? Are you back? Chris, are you back? This is what I used, okay? And I'm going to use this a lot because I think these books are a little bit more conducive to double-sided tape than they are wet media.
Yes, and I'll tell you, double-sided tape is going to be your best friend when you're doing journaling.
Yeah.
It's quicker, and also just because, you know, of course, paper and water, wet glue, you know. Mm-hmm.
It's more portable, and you can get through your pages faster. You don't have all that drying time.
Exactly.
So and Amazon sells these for like, you can get like 12 in a box. So again, like, look, so I mean, I think this paper is perfect the way it is. So I didn't do anything. I just taped it down.
Oh,
now I can look at it forever.
Chris says she's still in Naples. She has a week left. But Colleen says, I tried junk journaling. It turned out to be junk. I didn't like it too much.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Colleen. Well, maybe this one, maybe you'll get some fresh ideas.
Yeah.
And you'll try again.
Remember, there's no right or wrong way either, you guys.
There isn't. I mean, some people might look at this and think that it's junk, but I don't think it's junk.
I don't think it's junk.
You know, to me, it's like just about anything that helps you sort of with your creative process.
Yeah.
All right. So the next signature. So see, this is a signature. It's like a little booklet, one little booklet that's just full of unique little pages. And so this is the cover, you know, like the signature cover, and then you fill it with all your pages. Now, some people decorate their pages before they sew it in the book. I like to sew in clean pages. So I usually don't decorate mine beforehand. I'll decorate it after.
Yeah, I don't even do my albums that way.
Really?
No, yeah, I don't decorate beforehand. I do it, and then I do it inside of the album. We do have Elizabeth saying, is this the only journal kit available?
It is currently. This is our very first one, which is why we're showing you this demo, because it's a brand new product line for us.
And then Rima would like to know, what is the book base you are using?
I'm going to show you.
The cover. Yeah.
I'll show you all of it. We're going to do one, you guys. So I'm going to show you the whole thing. Sheet of vellum just tucked in there. Let's see. I have one other thing in here. Oh, this was where I was saying that I stopped and then I just put all my little extra random pieces in.
So can you, that's a belly band. Can you, some, I don't know if they know what belly bands are.
Yeah.
So, you know, that page of strips where she was saying could be washi tapes, belly band. This is what it is. So,
yeah. So I just made like a little pocket out of the belly band. And then I put another one here.
So it's like a tuck. You can use it as a tuck.
Yeah.
So Ronnie is saying, so this is all new to me, and this may sound like a very silly question, but with all the designs that's on them, how do people write on them? I always thought a journal was to write on. So what else do you use this for? I'm really interested in doing these things, but I want to make sure I'm doing it right. It's absolutely lovely.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, Ronnie. and this is what I love. Oh, here's my page with all the stuffs I cut. Here's the thing. There really isn't a right way.
Nope.
You know, a lot of people do use these to journal in. I personally am not a journaler. I do not, Dear Diary, I don't do that. So for me, this is more about artistic expression. You know, I'm also not going to doodle or paint in a journal. I'm just not going to do that. So it's sort of so for me, this sort of replaces like scrapbooking. What I might do with it is, like, for example, I made one for the beach, and I might put like some photos from our beach trip in there, you know, almost like a scrapbook or a memory album or something. But that's it. Like Chris said, there absolutely
no rules. No rules.
Nobody's going to say, oh, you're not doing that right. Nobody's going to say that to you.
No. So you can make it however you want. You can make it for memories. You can make it for pictures. You can make it for creative expression. You can make it for journaling. It's all up to you. It's all up to what you want to. I'll tell you, Teresa, I've made dozens and dozens of albums, and I've never made one for myself to actually put anything in it. I just love making them.
Just like making them. That's it.
I love making them. I've never actually put anything in it. I've sold them and made them, never used it.
And this one is actually, so this one is living with me for a few more days, and it's going up for auction on Sunday.
Yeah.
As is, I'm not doing anything else to it. And so, you know, people buy this stuff too. Like, they love looking at it. It's like the sensory feeling of it as well. So it's like a coffee table book, or, you know, a conversation starter.
Yep. So Lisa is saying, where do you get the glue and the ribbons?
So we are distributors for these ribbons. This is old-fashioned ribbon from Poland, and our retailers can actually get these for you. The glue, we generally use Pentart products, and again, our retailers can get those for you as well.
So I'll put in the link, and this is the same way with.
Yep. Okay, so we have spent 30 minutes talking about what it is. Let's do one. At least we'll get one most of the way finished. We will have a little bit of drying time. What I'm starting with here is, this is a mat board. So this is 12 by 16 mat board. You can get this on Amazon. It's like from Golden State Art is the name of it. Like, I bought it in a pack of 50. It's a little bit, it's like very thick paper, like thicker than a cereal box, but thinner than book board, because they do make special boards that you can do bookbinding with. I don't think you need that. I think this is fine. You could also glue 2 or 3 cereal box things together.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what you make it out of. You can use an old book. You could, you know, when I first started doing this, I used old books. So just something sturdy enough that's not gonna warp. And here's the basics. So you're gonna cut it, your cover. Okay. So this is your book, your cover and your back. And then you're going to need 2 spines. The dimensions that I did here, if you want to write it down, or Terry, if you want to type it in.
Will do.
So this is, I cut that down to 8 3/4 by 6 inches. And both of these are the exact same size. So 8 3/4 by 6 inches. The spine is 8 3/4 by 1.5, or sorry, 1 3/4. It's 1 3/4.
1 3/4.
I meant to do 1.5, but I did it wrong, so it's fine.
This gives you a little more.
Yes, and then this you actually need 2 of these, and I'll show you why later. One needs to be slightly, just ever so slightly narrower than the other. but we'll trim that one when we get there. Okay, so that's how you start it. What you need to do is you need to tape these together, and we are going to use.
Yeah, Ronnie, that would be perfect. I use chipboard for mine, so yeah, that would be perfect. She said she bought chipboard for shipping, but it's not strong enough, so she said it would be perfect for this.
Yes, I've done the same thing. Now, if it's that U-line chipboard, you might want to glue a couple pages or even tape them. You could tape a couple of those pieces together. I couldn't tell you exactly how thick this one is, but this is like mat board that you use for framing. And I got it on Amazon. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to tape this using construction grade tape. This is Tyvek tape. This is really the heavy duty stuff that I recommend. I wouldn't use packing tape. So this is what I would use. This is Tyvek. You can get this at Home Depot. Okay. You can buy it on Amazon, and it's not that expensive. And what we're going to do is we're going to leave a small gap about 2, maybe 1.5 millimeters, just very small gap. And we're going to tape it down ever so carefully so we don't move it. And we're going to do this side. And now that it's secure on one side, I'm now just going to wrap it around.
So Lori, the purpose, I actually use the Tyvek envelopes for the same purpose. The thing is your spine is going to get the most wear and tear, right? The opening of the pages, your signatures stick to your spine. So you want something that is absolutely not going to tear. Tyvek will not do it.
Yeah, and this is going to get a lot of, like she said, this is going to get a lot of wear and tear with this opening and closing. And this tape really does make the perfect hinge, in my opinion. I haven't tried linen tape, so I couldn't, I don't know.
I don't know either. I use, like I said, I use the Tyvek as well. I use the envelopes and open it up, but it's the same strength. Absolutely, because like that would be the worst thing to do an album and then it falls apart.
And are you, that's a good idea. So Betty is saying that Tyvek envelopes make good pouch pockets. So when you do it, Terry, do you glue the Tyvek envelope down?
Sorry, Jack is having a heart attack. His UPS here. Yes, I actually use the double stick tape and I will tape it down all the way. So I use double stick tape, and then I will go all the way from one edge to the other and then put it down. And that's how I've made all of my albums, and never once has one fallen apart with the Tyvek.
And that's how you do your scrapbook albums?
Yes.
Well. Okay.
Yes. And those are much heavier than just like a junk journaling. And so this is actually perfect.
Awesome. All right. So here's this step I think this step is kind of optional, but I really like doing it because I think it adds a little bit of thickness. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to decoupage like just a white cover around it. Do you do this too, Terry?
Yes.
Okay. And I just think it gives it a little bit more strength.
Yes. So what I always do a cover on it as well, and then I actually put my pages on top of the cover, so whatever the scrapbooking and journaling, whatever I choose, but it just gives it that little bit of extra
strength, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so I don't need quite this much, so I'm gonna cut a little bit. I'm going to trim a little bit off here. And, you know, this is just regular copy paper. I happen to have some in a big size, but you could use a paper bag. You could use craft paper. You could use any bigger sheet of white paper, or you could join a couple of pieces of regular copy paper together. So the important thing is just to make sure that we get it nice and not wrinkled. So we're going to do a basic decoupage technique. And anytime you're decoupaging with something other than like napkins or rice paper or like really fine tissue paper, if you're decoupaging with something thicker, it's a good idea to mist your paper first.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps to prevent wrinkles from occurring. Remember, paper is just little fibers that tear and wrinkle very easily. And so this is softening those fibers to help prevent that. So I'm going to just take, and I'm not going to be very careful at all. And I'm going to take my decoupage glue. And I'm going to decoupage. I'm going to coat this whole back side with decoupage glue. And I'm going to stick it on that paper.
So we did a bunch of Decoupage 101 tips.
Yeah.
And it's on the Decoupage Queen page. And decoupaging with scrapbook paper or paper is one of them, as well as curved surfaces, as well as blending. So you guys should check that out as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you can decoupage with any paper, really.
Yep.
Scrapbook paper included.
Rima says, I could do this so far.
Yes, you can. You can do this. You can even do the sewing part. I promise. It's so easy. It's a very simple stitch. Okay, so I've got that good and covered. And now I'm going to lay that down right on top. And I'm going to flatten it out. Okay. And now I am going to bring in these corners to make a nice, just to kind of like wrap it very nicely all the way around.
Yep. So Trina, if I'm using chipboard, I usually use a 50 point. So it's just all going to depend on what you mean by thin chipboard. So a 50 is usually a medium. So it really just depends on what you're going to use inside of that journal, as far as how heavy weight you need that chipboard to be. Teresa, did you keep that Christmas album that I made?
You know what? It went to Home Shopping Network. Oh, yeah. And I was never able to get it back.
Okay.
It disappeared into their archives. So
gotcha.
I want you to make me another one at some point.
Okay, I could do that.
But maybe with a different.
I could do that.
She's like, shut up.
No, we had to do it was Christmas at that time. Yes. So we had to do it with that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so Christmas is coming up again.
A little tip for your corners, if you round them just a little bit with your like your scissors, like when you're tucking them, so you don't get that little buckle at the end.
Little buckle, yeah. Good idea. You'll have to show me what you're talking about.
I'm trying. Well, I said scissors, but I'm looking. I don't want you to cut it. I have a bone folder, and that's usually what I use. But I'll show you.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, and we are going to decoupage this as well, both the inside and the outside. We're going to put rice paper on it. But right now, what we're doing is we're making it's almost like not quite our dust cover. It's more like the cloth cloth book binding that goes around the book, but it's not cloth, it's paper. You could use cloth. You could certainly use book cloth as well.
Absolutely.
So there are so many ways to do bookbinding, you guys. And what I have found is everybody that I watch or come across does it a little bit differently. And usually what happens is people learn from someone, and that's the way they do it for the rest of their lives.
Forever. Yeah, forever. Rima, can you use stone paper for what? The outside cover?
It would be too thin for the inside, for the board.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you're trying to use the stone paper at. If you're using it for the covering part, the cover, she wants the cover.
It's too thin. It's too thin for the it's too thick to be this paper part that I'm doing right now.
So no, not really, because if you're talking about like the base of it, it's too thin, and then if you're talking about the white that she's doing right now, the outside, it's too thick.
It's too thick for that. So it's really not a good candidate for this. All right, I'm going to just dry real fast.
Yeah. And plus, Rima, you wouldn't want to use your, stone paper for that. Because remember, this is just like the outside layer of it. Now, white copy paper, I mean, now you're getting too thin. I did a simple book binding with Cub Scouts many years ago. Yeah. This part, like I said, I've probably made, honestly, a goodness gracious, I don't even know. I've lost count. And this, to me, it's very, I love it. I just love making the albums, junk journaling. It's just, you get lost when you're doing it because there's no limitations. There's no rules. It's really good fun. I've made them for a ton of housewarming gifts, Christmas presents. So.
I want to show you how smooth this side is, and it's because I misted it.
Right.
You guys. So if I had not misted it, we'd be dealing with a lot of wrinkles.
So I think we're having a lot of questions on what to use for the outside cover, because Ronnie is saying, so if not copy paper, then what do you suggest? So it has to be a little bit heavier in weight than like a copy paper. You don't need, even like a butcher paper, you just don't want it too thin. Copy paper is just a little bit too thin. Exactly, Sue. Same thing. I've made so many that I actually, that's why I even have an Etsy, because there was just absolutely no more room for them, and I wasn't selling them. I was just doing it for just the pure joy. I just loved making them. And it was literally like albums everywhere. So I haven't made an album in a while. But now that Teresa's come back out with some fun, the journal kit, and I told Teresa I'd make her a folio and a scrapbook album. So,
okay.
So I owe her a folio and a scrapbook album.
Yes, you do. You owe me lots and lots of things. And I should probably reciprocate, right? So maybe Terry, maybe this one will be yours.
Ah, there we go. A folio, it's just a different way. It's just a different way to make it, a different way to make another album type, Rima. It's the way it opens. So it's almost like a trifold with how do you explain it? Because there's like, it's almost like there's a spine on two sides, and then it folds over the top. I'll have to show it.
So I think something that would be kind of cool to do would be like if you were to, because this process can be a little bit time consuming to make these little covers and jackets and whatnot. So how fun would it be to like just prep a bunch of them, right?
Yep.
And then you have them ready to go.
Yeah.
So next time you want to do a little, and like these are all different sizes, you guys. So it doesn't have to be this size. Now our paper is A4 size. So, but you could get creative with that. So our paper is going to fit this size book as designed, but of course you can get as creative as you want with it. All right, so I'm done with this. I'm going to set it aside. I will say that if I was going to be very tidy and correct, I would also put another sheet that exactly fits this. I would put that down here on the inside. Yeah. That is the exact correct way to do it. In the interest of time, I am not going to do that because I'm going to also rice paper decoupage. So I'm going to skip a step that you shouldn't skip. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So here, I'm not sure in my video, Terry, I did do a video that I shared. I think it's on the Decoupage Queen page where I built the Andy Skinner journal.
Yes.
And I think I showed it putting the other piece of paper on the inside on that one, but I can't remember. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we are going to start working on our signatures, which is all those fun little pages on the inside. So I have some little booklets, some little pages that are already cut to size and ready to go. I will tell you, since this is international sizing, you can certainly use regular copy paper if you want, like regular 8.5 by 14 copy paper, but that is not the size that I used here. And so I wanted to just show you what that would look like inside the booklet if you did that. You could definitely do it. It's just going to be a little bit shorter on the edge, which is fine. You probably want to trim off this top part. Okay. Right. Because this is A4 international sizes. So they do sell A4 paper, which you could use. But what I used here is 9 by 12. I buy it in reams and I cut it down to the exact size that I need.
What? Before they raised their shipping prices, I bought a ton of paper from the UK, so they're all proper sized.
Yeah.
A4. I should send them to you. I have tons of black and white cardstock because they're perfect size. I'm gonna send some to you because I have like shelves full. Because at one point, I can't remember who I bought them from now because it's been so long ago. They weren't charging anything shipping to ship to the US.
Yeah.
And then one year they got hip to that, and then now it's an arm and a leg. So, but thankfully I had stocked up before they did that.
Yeah. And you can put anything you want inside these signatures. So I'm doing about 9 regular sheets of paper on the inside. This is called a bone folder, and I'm going to make sure that's creased nice and well. But I'm also putting in like little pieces of cardstock and a little other book page. You can put all kinds of stuff in there. It doesn't have to be just solid pages.
No. Like the old journaling pages that they used to use for bookkeeping.
Ledger.
Nancy actually sent me a bunch of old music sheets.
She sent me some too. Here's one.
Yeah, that are great for that. You can, coffee, tea, stain your papers,
Yep.
avocado, beets. You could use all of that to stain your papers.
A lot of people are doing that now. In fact, I used to dye papers with coffee, but it was a lot of work, and
It is a lot of work. It is
I
a
didn't
lot of
enjoy
work.
it that much, to be honest.
Well, when Chris Hunter was on Creative Hour, I was saying, I come from just coffee and tea dyeing, but then everybody was like, well, what about beets and what about avocados and what about, and I was like, oh God, I've never done any of that. I'm just,
yeah. So like, that's the kind of thing, if anybody wants to send me fun papers like that they enjoy making, I'll take them. And I'll use them, but I am not going to do that.
Yeah.
So in fact, I've looked at some on Etsy because a lot of people make those things and sell them on Etsy.
Yeah, they do.
So, and that's the way I would do it, because I'm just not going to spend that kind of time doing that. But there's so many fun things you can do. Like you can incorporate stencils into those patterns and
die cut, like I have a die cutting machine, so I have a bunch of dies that you could do all kinds of stuff with this. Dried flowers, all of that stuff.
All kinds of
stuff. I would even like tea stain, coffee stain, like the lace and stuff to sew into the journals.
Yes. You can do that. So I bought a kit from Viola Woo Woo. She's a artist on the Finnabair team.
Yes.
And I bought a kit from her and it's like everything is all ready made, and she just sends it to you. Like the lace is already stained and the papers are already torn, and so I'm like, that's what I'm talking about.
So since you've made this, the journaling kit, and I was saying when you were drawing, I've literally put, because I have all the gadgets and gizmos, right? All the punches and the dies. And so since you've done this, now I'm like, oh God, now I need another room where I can set all my stuff back out again. Because now I've got that bug again, but I'm worried about where am I going to put everything again.
Right. And so see here, this was a page that was torn out that's still intact.
Yep.
That I'm just going to thread right in there. You can also seam, like if you had two pieces of paper that were like this and you wanted them in there, you could join them together.
Right.
So you can do that.
Very true, Betty. We all need more space.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what we have here. I didn't count or anything. I just want to see. So I'm good here. I think that's about the right number.
Yes.
I don't want to do any more to it because I am going to add stuff to the book as I go.
Right.
So I'm just kind of holding it up. So this is my spine that I'm going to sew these pages into, you guys. So that's why you had to cut two. All right. All right, let me move some of this stuff out of the way. I do want to decorate my spine before I sew my pages in. So I'm just going to do a quick decoupage. And then we're going to sew some pages, you guys. So, you know what? I probably should have made this in rice paper because look.
That would have been neat.
But I don't want to fool with decoupaging the scrapbook paper right at this moment. So let's get a.
Betty says, "Get ready for sewing lessons, Rima."
Yes, we're gonna sew. We are going to sew. Okay, so I didn't pull out a sheet of paper, but what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna paint it, you guys. And you can paint it any color. You can decoupage the spine. You can do whatever you want. I'm just going to paint it delicate.
I brought you a very special gift.
Oh, did you bring me the cat?
Yep, I did.
Hold on a second. My son wants to show you the cat.
I do.
Let's look at the cat real fast.
Hi, Evan.
Hi. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
He's big and
Wow, that's a big cat.
This is Snowball.
Whoa. Look at
Yes.
the markings on their Is it a boy or girl?
He's a boy.
Look
He's
at
a
his
rag doll.
markings on his face. That is so cool.
Thank you.
Wow.
Cat break.
Cat break.
All right.
Emily wouldn't accept him, so I thought I'd show your view.
Yeah, because we did say, like, we tried to get him on a live a couple weeks ago, and he wouldn't cooperate. So we did say we'd have to try again when he was being a little bit more chill.
Camera shy. He's camera shy.
Yeah. Yeah, he just wants to be, he likes to sit in here when I craft, but he just wants to be left alone. So.
Oh, right.
All right, so I'm going to just dry that. You don't want to leave this white because once you sew your pages into it, you can't get back into it. So this is your only opportunity to decorate this thing. Okay, guys?
Ronnie, if you'd like to, that would be great. I will be trying this real soon. I think they will make great gifts for my daughters. Yeah, Trina. And I'm telling you, you're gonna really, if you guys just try, you're gonna really just enjoy the process of it all. It's very relaxing, very fun. Just total creative freedom over whatever and however you want to make your journal. You will try it, but you're not going to sew, huh, Rima?
It's so easy, Rima. It's so easy to sew. It's not even, I wouldn't even call it sewing.
It's not really even sewing, Rima.
No.
It's not like you've got to sew a hem or anything.
Not with a machine or anything. It is a needle and thread. It's not a sewing machine.
But it's literally a in and out. It's not. Exactly, Betty. Just wait. You'll see, Rima. It's not as painful as you think it is.
So the reason, and I started doing this with old books, you guys. So what I would do is I would take an old book and I would literally like slice out the pages and I would use that for the cover. And the reason I started doing this was because I am addicted to decoupage and I am constantly looking for surfaces to decoupage. It's like, what surface can I find? Books are plentiful and they were everywhere. And so I started doing that. And then I learned how to rip the pages out and turn them into like a blank journal. Mm-hmm. So I started doing that. And then I learned how to make my own so I don't have to destroy old books anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So it feeds my decoupage habit, which is why a lot of times I don't do anything else to the inside because it's like, okay, the outside is pretty. I'm done. All right. And so what you want to do with this inside spine is you want to seat it down in there and make sure that you're able to close up around it. Okay. And that was the point of just cutting it a little bit smaller, just a hair smaller, so that it would close nicely like that. So I do have just a little bit of warping going on, you guys, but I'm going to be able to straighten that back out. No problem.
Yeah. Once you get your other stuff on there, it'll straighten out.
It'll be totally fine. All right. So that's going to fit perfectly. I don't need to make any adjustments to the width of my spine. So I feel good about that. Now let's sew some pages in. This is so easy. So easy. you're going to kick yourself when you see how easy it is. All right. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get a Sharpie. And we're going to take the Sharpie and we're going to draw some holes. I think what I'll do, look, I'm not going to pretend I'm measuring any. I don't measure stuff. I'm like gonna grab my ruler and get all
like just look. Let's.
I don't. I'm not. It'd be silly for me to show you measuring because I don't measure anything. So if you want to learn how to measure, just follow Terry. I'm not gonna measure it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eyeball, and so I have 4 signatures. I'm gonna sew this in 3 places. So I need 4 holes going across, and then I need 3 going this way. So basically it's going to be like kind of like a spreadsheet. So I'm going to do 4 holes roughly equal distance apart. I will put just a little dot where I think the center is. And then we'll kind of work from there. All right, so I'm going to do a hole here. I'm going to do a hole here. You want to try to get them evenly spaced. It's not the end of the world if they're not.
No.
Yeah. So this one is probably a little bit more important, is that they're lined up going down. So again, I'm not measuring anything, but I am just kind of using this as a straight guide.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want, you guys, when you sew it in, is to have it like tip to the left or tip to the right, because then your book is going to be really
you don't want it to be wonky.
It's going to be really wonky.
Yeah, and it might be a little wonky anyway, unless you measure, but I don't care. Nah, it's a junk journal, that's the thing, is like, that's the beauty of it. It's a junk journal. It's meant to be a little junky. So I'm just eyeballing it, you guys.
Yep. Betty says, doesn't need to be perfect. It's handmade, not machine made.
That's right. We are, exactly. And we are not machines.
Nope.
We are not.
Rima, eyeballing with a ruler.
Right. Yeah. It's a straight edge. Like I said, I'm not measuring anything. Okay. So there we go. So I have 12. I'm going to punch out 12 little holes. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is this way. Across is going to be the number of signatures that you have. And then it's always going to be 3 rows. So if you do spreadsheets, think columns and rows.
Yep.
Okay. If you don't do spreadsheets, then just do 12. Okay. All right. So the next thing you want to do is you want to line up your pages against your spine to make sure that you're punching the holes in your booklets in the same, I'm going to zoom in the same space that you're going to be sewing them into on the spine. So again, you're just kind of holding it and drawing a little dot where you're going to punch those holes on your booklets. Am I explaining that okay?
Yes. Did I miss signature? Yes, Rima. So each packet is a signature.
This is a signature. Okay. Now we're going to punch some holes If you don't have a crocodile, this is the tool that and they sell this in a smaller, more economical version.
But that one's amazing.
Yes. Or you can use an awl.
Yeah.
AWL.
Just, I don't know if Rima should use that though.
I don't think Rima should. Rima, please buy a crocodile.
Yeah, Rima, please buy a crocodile. Don't.
Do not
And it's
you.
croc. I said this during a live one time, and everybody was saying they can't find it. It's not crocodile, guys. It's crop. CROP. Crocodile.
Yeah. And I have an owl, AWL, but I don't know where it is. It's supposed to be in this kit, but it isn't. So it's a good thing I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, exactly, Betty. No owl for Rima. So yeah, so it's like an ice pick. It looks like an ice pick. So it's very pointy and sharp at one end, and then it's got like a little handle knob at the top. But yeah, Rima crocodile. Crocodile.
I mean, it's kind of like this type of thing. It's pointy, but you can use those if that's your thing, and that's how they, a lot of the old school books are done is with those tools. But we have modern tools, and we're going to use our modern tools. Oh, nope, that's not it. I'm still looking for it, even though I know I'm not going to use it. All right, so I'm going to set this. So this has 2 hole punch settings. A standard is going to be this guy up here. Sorry, it's let's see, where is it? 3/8 is going to be the standard, this bigger one here, but we're actually going to use 1/8, which is small. It's a small hole. Okay, and we're going to punch out all of these holes. See what I did there? It's not my favorite word. That is not my favorite word for sure.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
There's no good way to pronounce it. It's like, what do you say?
When Kim was on from Yesterday's Tomorrow, she couldn't think of what it was called. And she said, Terry, what do you call this? And I know it's an owl. And I said, you know what? It's a picker. And she goes, oh, okay, a picker. And everybody in the comments was then saying, no, I knew what it was, but
yeah.
Like, no, it's not a picker. It's an owl.
We're going to call it something else.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Who named it? I don't know.
Okay, so there we go. And now we are going to, actually, and I don't want to, so here's the thing. I don't want to shuffle them this way, because look what happens if I do that.
Yeah.
I got too much over here and none over here.
Yeah.
So when I'm stacking these, you want to make sure that they're kind of stacked, folded, right? You can get your little bone folder. So don't stack them that way. You can stack them that way, but just be careful. Just be mindful, you guys. All right. So we're going to flip this over, and we're going to punch those holes in where our little black marks are in each signature / booklet.
Now this is why this big bite, it's crocodile big bite, is so nice, because you can actually get to the middle of the signature.
And it goes all the way through all these pages.
And it goes all the way through with ease. It's not like you're, squeezing the heck out of it.
Yeah, it is not a struggle at all.
Nope. I love it.
I need more something else in here. This one's a little too thin. I got that one too thin. Here's my stuff here. Let's add a couple more things in that. It is important to make sure all of your pages are nested in here. Like all laid flat and nested so that they're all getting that hole punch.
Yes.
Let's add another one.
Yes, Lori. That's how we used to make them. Is with the awl. Is just using it.
And
just be mindful of your fingers.
And a bookbinding. What are those things called? The little thing where you set it down into and you punch the hole through. I have an old style one, but I don't know what it's called.
Nested, another word I need to learn, and I thought I was fine with English. Rima.
Yeah.
Rima, you're fine. Is there a limit of pages you can put in each signature? Lisa is asking.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's a personal preference. Just keep in mind, if you get these too thick, you're not going to have space to decorate them, because that's going to add some bulk to it too. So I generally don't go too crazy. I think I usually stop at around 10. 10 is like my max that I'll do.
Yeah. You need to make sure that you keep in mind the spine size that you've cut. And then, you also need to give yourself grace to be able to decorate. So if you make them too thick, it's just,
because the decorating is definitely going to add some heft.
Yes.
Oh, look what I did. I pulled one from another kit. Let me flip this one this way. I'm going to flip that one that way. There. So there are 4 unique ones, but I pulled 2 of the same ones, but that's no big deal. Okay, and then last one here. I do like to put different color papers in there. I do find it interesting. So I'm hoping did anybody volunteer to send me coffee dyed papers?
I didn't see it yet.
Oh.
Maybe it'll be a surprise.
Oh, okay. All right. That was a major hint. Like if anybody, needed any hints dropped. Okay, let's see. All right. Be like, I'll trade you some rice papers for work out a trade here. Okay.
I know. Barter for coffee pages.
I have okay, so you want to hear something funny that's actually not funny, but it is funny. So my car, I was at the mall today and my car got tossed. You know what that is? Like, yeah. So I thought my new car, it had automatic lock to where when I walk away after a certain the time, it just locks on its own. Apparently it doesn't.
Are you kidding?
And I came out and my everything's out of my glove box. My seats are all messed. Somebody broke into my car, but they didn't damage anything.
They didn't need to break in because it was unlocked. They didn't have to
break in because it was unlocked.
Yes.
And so pulled all the DVDs out of the glove box, all everything. And I had a box of decoupage papers in the back seat, and then I had all these decoupage papers in my front seat. All crumpled, and I was like, and I was madder about them touching my decoupage papers.
Forget about the the DVDs and
I know.
the nerve of you to crumple up my decoupage.
You like, golly,
It had
guys.
to be. It had to be kids. It had to
Yeah,
be like
they were,
young.
they were
Yeah.
searching for something quick and easy, you know.
Yeah, like loose change and stuff like that. But
But
wow,
they're not into, they weren't, thankfully they're not into decoupage or
I know.
like DVDs.
Shucks.
I know.
So
All
Terry
right,
is asking, how can I obtain a full list of items that I would need to purchase in order to proceed a junk? I think to make a junk journal.
Yeah.
So I think, do you have the same kit that is that from Amazon? The same little,
This little
the thread and all of that.
Yeah. This is all okay. So let me talk about this. You know what? Excuse me, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
What we can probably do is, we can't edit the description of this, can we?
No,
we can't.
Not after it's done, but I can go through and put it in the comments and pin it.
We can make a post for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know we can drop something in the YouTube version of it.
Yes.
As well. And I think that my demo that I did, which is, I did the exact same process, you guys, on a YouTube video, exact same thing over there. And I believe I listed out all the materials there. Okay. So you need a blunt needle with a wide hole. And this is waxed linen thread. Okay. You can get it on Amazon. You can get all these on Amazon.
I just put the link in there for Amazon.
Okay. And then what you want to do is you want to measure out your thread. You're going to cut 4 of these, and you're going to take 3 lengths of the book. Okay. So I'm going to do that 4 times, and it's 3 lengths of the book. And I'm going to cut. So I need 4 pieces of thread, waxed linen thread, and a needle with a big hole. There's no sewing machine involved. This is the easiest sewing. This is easier than sewing a button on, literally. I would not attempt to sew a button myself. Okay. I'm just saying, like, I am not, please do not think that I'm any kind of sewing person, because I am not. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to take one of these, and we're going to thread this needle. And I'm going to zoom in here so y'all can see. And we're going to start with the last booklet or signature, and we're going to sew this in. Okay, we're going to sew this in this last column of holes. And we're going to start by opening it up and putting the needle through the middle. And then we're going to pull that through, leave this little tail. We're going to come back along the outside here and bring it through the top set of holes. Can y'all see? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
I was just going to say.
And then we're going to come back down to the bottom set. And we're still working on that last column. Don't get your columns mixed up. That's important, because you don't want to get wonky. They need to be straight and lined up. And you do want to work from the back to the front. Literally, that is the only sewing we're doing. We're going to do that 3 more times. And then we're going to, so here you've got this long string now in the middle, and then you have tails on either side. And you're going to just tie that twice, 3 times if you want. Twice is plenty. And then you're going to cut. And I like to leave these long because I kind of like them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it adds to the handmade feeling. All right, and then you take your bone folder and crease that down nice and tight. And boom, we have a little, look how cute, little booklet. Okay, so we're going to do that again. We're going to do it 3 more times. Okay. And we're going to come up to here. And then we're going to come up here.
Rima says, Teresa, I will buy this from you.
You can bid on the journal that I am going to have in the auction on Sunday. How about that?
Oh, Rima.
Okay. And I mean, we're going slow. So listen, I learned this on YouTube. It was a lady named Pam from the Paper Outpost. I learned it from her. I watched her video about 100 times, and I slowed it down. And, you know, first 3 or 4 journals I made, I had to watch the video again. I mean, I get it, you know?
Yep.
But once you got it, you got it.
So Ronnie says she's going to be there for the auction.
Okay, awesome.
I have an auction on Friday. Did you know that?
Awesome. No, I did not.
Yeah, I have an auction on Friday.
Post the details for that.
Yeah, I have my auction on Friday, and in my auction, I am also doing my giveaway for my 2K.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait. And then tomorrow on my page at Teresa Renee Art, the ladies asked me to do some journal pages. So what we'll do tomorrow on my page, it's not going to be over here at Decoupage Queen, but we are actually going to decorate some journal pages tomorrow in this book.
So I will put in, this is Teresa's channel for you guys.
Yeah.
Which you should all be already following, I'm sure. Just in case.
I think most everybody here is. I haven't seen anybody I don't recognize, but for the people watching the replays or whatever. So we are going to do some journal pages. Like, okay, so once your journal's done, how would you get it all pretty on the inside?
Yep.
So we're going to do a little bit of that.
So I did a class to do a album making, and it took me 3 days, a good couple of hours.
Oof.
Yeah, and so for those of you who have asked me to make one live, it's virtually, for the types of albums that I do, it would be impossible to do that live.
Yeah. Would have to be like a, you know, I mean, you could probably do like a paid class or something, Terry.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'd get plenty of participants that way, but there is a limit to how much we can really do on lives, you know?
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah. Y'all. Okay, so last one, and then I will show you how we go about securing this to the inside. Let me just point out here too that along the way, you want to double check your work. This is what your spine should look like along the way. Okay. Yep. Nice straight lines. You don't want
nice,
like
straight,
these
flat. Yeah.
They can get crisscrossed, or like this can get looped on the outside. Then that's going to affect your book. So just make sure you're checking that. Okay. So now let me zoom back up. So now we have, this is a nice, hefty, solid book, okay? And what this is going to do is this is going to be glued right down along this inner spine. And I'm going to use Express Glue. That's what I used last time, Terry. And it worked beautifully.
Nice.
So I'm going to use Express Glue. A lot of people use like fabric glue, like Fabrifix. Those are good options, but Express Glue is working beautifully. Assuming, because I left my cap off all night. So we'll see if
something's going to come out.
We'll see if I can get any out. I'm going to, let's see. I got to see. This is, let's see. Let's try this again. This is also another good use for your wide needles. Okay, it's not going to come out. I think I have another one somewhere, or we could use heavy body gel. Hold on, let's do this one. I've got another one. I have another one to the rescue that was sealed. Because you know me, I just have bottles and bottles of glue laying around everywhere. Okay, there we go. All right, so Express Glue. You know, be somewhat generous, but not to where it's gonna seep up the sides, because you don't want to glue your stuff shut. And then you're just going to seat it, oops, right down in the middle. And then let's just bring this up along the sides. And you just need to make sure it's even and flush. And then we're going to just press it down.
Ronnie says, you have bottles of glue. I have bottles of wine.
You know, you do you, sister. That's all I can say. You do you.
Diana says, this is the best and easiest binding I've seen. Definitely changing the way I've been doing things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I am so happy to hear that. That's great. So hopefully you can walk away with a little bit of confidence to do this. So what I would do is I'm going to let this dry overnight in this position, so that it gets on there fully. And then, you know, I'll probably come back before my live tomorrow and decorate the front of it. I mean, now basically what you have is a blank canvas on the front that you can decorate however you want on the spine.
Exactly.
You know, you can do whatever you want. And that's the beauty of it, is now you can truly make it your own. This is the paper that I'm going to use on the front. I'm going to use the 4-pack, and I'm going to use this one here. And so I just want to show you, because of the dimensions, this is an like A6 size, or wait, is it A5 size? And that fits perfectly. So that's going to be the perfect choice for that. You guys, that's what I have. That's how you would start to use your journal kit. And then you saw all the little bits and pieces that I did along the way. I've got lots of fun ribbon here that I'm going to add on tags and all that fun stuff as well. You know, do we want to show a quick demo if you buy this crocodile kit, like how to do these little eyelets?
Oh, the grommets, the eyelets. Yep.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Just so we have one, and it's all here in one place.
Yeah, because I mean, I use that thing for everything. Even like when I've done my mannequins and I need to do the tie in the back for like their little, that's what I use.
Yeah. I mean, and you can use it to make, like, if you do your, if you make an envelope pocket and you want to do the little circle and a tie wrap around, You can use it for the little circle part. So let's just do a little journal card here, and we'll cut the little hole. I might have gone a little overboard with my eyelet collection.
Yeah, because I have a lot of eyelets, but I have just the regular colors. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, I might have gone just a little bit overboard.
I have black, silver, gold, and then what is it? The antique. I don't have blues and greens. You have
this
red
collection here. So anyway, let's pull out, I think this one would be cute. This is going to be the little copper one. So basically what you want to do with the, this is how you use the grommet thing or the eyelet thing with your crocodile. So you're going to first punch your hole, and this one you do want the big hole. You want the Mac Daddy size, which is the 3/16 hole. And you're going to put that wherever you want it. You can also use this, do it like a stapler. So you could staple two things together. Here, let's just do that. Let's just tear. I'm just going to tear a little bit of this, and we're going to group these together. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you could. Hey. Okay, so you got a hole. You have a little hole now in both pieces, and then you're going to put your little tiny eyelet through it with the rounded, with that side showing. Mm-hmm. And you're going to switch your crocodile tool all the way up, and that's a, is that right? That's your.
Yeah, because it's going to now it's going to go to the down.
Yeah, so this tool that's coming down is not a punch. It's like a hammer, whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna squish it, if you will.
It's gonna squish it. So you're gonna position that up onto your thing and press it down, and then that gives you a neat little hole.
Yep.
And you can feed like a little piece of ribbon through it, right? So that's how you use this tool. That's why this tool is such a good one to have, because you can use it for multiple things. So, okay.
Perfect.
About that?
I don't think so.
Lisa wants to know about the name on the wheel. We're not doing the wheel tonight.
Yeah, we don't have, the wheels are only on creative hours on Saturday. So, but other than that, I hope that if any of you guys try this, make sure you tag Decoupage Queen, and also if you're not in the group, the Decoupage Queens and Kings group, please go in there and show us your creations, because we love to love on them and say, show you all the things. Where did Teresa go?
Well, you're taking us out.
Oh, I was like, oh my God, my face is on the screen. What happened?
I put you on there.
So yeah, make sure if you are not in the Decoupage Queens and Kings group, please go in there and show us all of your creations, because we love to love on it and see it and see what you guys are working on. And then also, if you share on your socials, tag hashtag Decoupage Queen, and then we can see it there too. But anyhow, thank you, Teresa, because I know now I have an even more itch to bring all of my stuff out.
Yes.
We need to find room.
I know. That's always a challenge. Yep.
Yeah, that's always a challenge. But Thank you. And so Teresa Renee will be live on her page tomorrow at 2:00 my time, 5:00.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
So 5:00 Eastern Standard Time. So check her out tomorrow because you said you're gonna do decorating.
We're going to decorate some pages. We're going to continue using the journal kit along with some other things, and we're going to continue working on some of these pages on the inside.
Awesome. So check her out tomorrow, and then we'll see you guys on Creative Hour on Saturday, which will have the wheel. And then I think we have Robin songs will be on Saturday. So
Awesome.
alrighty, you all. Hope you
Great.
have a good rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, everybody.